There's been many split opinions on the new Miami circuit for the F1 calendar. But regardless of whether this will provide good racing on Sunday, this track will undoubtedly test the limits of the car's ability with its super long straights and tight slow speed corners, as well as these corners of turns 4 to turn 8, which might just be one of the toughest sequence of corners to get right. But with that being said, it might also be one of the most satisfying corners on the F1 calendar when done correctly. This whole section of track from turns 4 to 8 tightly blends together, and of course it's tricky to extract all of the time out of it. But not only that, getting turn 8 wrong will ruin your speed all the way down that long straight before turn 9. So let's have a go at nailing these corners. So coming out of turn 3 now, I'd like to quickly note that we have the brake and throttle traces here, so you can see our inputs right as it's happening. So approaching turn 4, we turn in at full throttle, and as we reach the apex, we ease the throttle back to about 80%. Ideally we could use a bit more of the inside curb in this example to open up the corner as much as possible going into the right hander. Changing direction, we lift and shift into 6th gear, whilst just holding a little bit of throttle at the apex to maximise the downforce available. Back onto full throttle, we try and stay within track limits through turn 6 before hitting the brakes about 15 meters before the 100 meter board. On the brakes we can see that our peak brake pressure is just above 50%, and that's because as the car is turning, too much brake pressure may cause a lock-up or generate understeer heading through the corner. Rolling off the brakes, we apply the throttle just before the apex. Make sure not to break traction before heading off down the long straight. An easy yet crucial error drivers can make going through this section is by not committing hard enough through the fast sweeping corners. It may sound like an obvious one, but with more speed going into the corner, you'll get more downforce and grip in return. So let's compare an average example through this section against our fast example and pinpoint the key moments of where time can be found by using the Track Titan platform. Here on the Track Titan platform, we're comparing the slow example in orange against our fast lap, which is in blue. And here is turns 4 to 8 shown here within segment 3 and segment 4. As we can see, we're losing almost half a second through turns 4 and 6 in segment 3, and a further 2.5 tenths at turns 7 and 8. So let's head into these segments and see where the time is. Before we scrub through the section, you can see how the orange line on the speed graph drops the speed too quickly in the initial phase of the corner. This is where most of the time is lost in segment 3. And as we scrub through the section now, the blue line is able to carry a lot more speed all the way to the apex of turn 5. We could also see how the driver in orange is a lot more erratic on the steering and throttle inputs, which hurts the car's stability going through the corners even more. Having that confidence to really send the car in smoothly is definitely the best approach when tackling these corners. When you manage to piece all of these corners together, it really does feel like a thrilling section of racetrack. It is a mix of aggressive commitment going into these corners whilst being smooth and within the car's limits. We encourage that you give it a go too, and see just how much time you can find.